Hi, I'm Trent Miller at the Madison Public Library. I'm the head bubblarian, and we will talk today about maker spaces, maker programs, and creativity in libraries. So the Bubbler is Madison Public Library's brand new maker-focused program. We do have at our central library a brand new space which we're sitting in right now. That's called the Bubbler Room. So we have a room where we have things like a dry erase board and rubber floors and lots of windows, and we can do all kinds of hands-on activities in here, anything from beer brewing to printmaking to 3D printing. So we bring in experts to teach these classes and workshops or drop-in things. We have an artist in residence program, we do some late night events, and all ages, families, kids, teens, and adults. Also part of the Bubbler program is our media lab, so that's more of the tech side of things. So as opposed to kind of getting messy and painting, we actually teach video game design, and we have a green screen, we have film cameras, and sound booth, audio engineering kind of stuff. So that's the tech side, and that's also in the central library here in Madison. Also part of this, the reason we call it a program as opposed to just a room or a maker space, is because we are also trying to do this kind of programming out in our branch libraries, and also out in the community. So we take things to like the Boys and Girls Club or the Juvenile Detention Center. We do these kinds of Bubbler programs in those places, but also in our branch libraries. Right now we have an NEA grant that is helping us to pay performers and makers for their materials and their time to do all of these classes and workshops out in the branches and the community and here at our Bubbler headquarters, home base at the Central Library. And this is the epitome of what's going on with the Bubbler program and what makes it, I think, a little unique to some of the other maker spaces. We already have an amazing makerspace, hackerspace, makerspace in Madison called Sector 67. We decided we did not need to recreate that at the library by buying 3D printers and laser cutters and vinyl cutters, things like that. So we decided to go with more of an open space in this room, but also the media lab we did buy equipment. But we decided if we're going to do laser cutting, we're actually going to bring that in, or we're actually going to take a program out to Sector 67. So one of our focuses here, obviously, is the big partnership. I would say a majority of my time is spent with nurturing partnerships, making connections, talking to people about what kind of programming they could help or offer here at the library. My ideal partner in these kinds of activities is a person or group who are very organized, and can kind of pitch an idea and all the way to follow through with the idea, do the program without a lot of intervention from me. So we've had some really great partnerships where people basically set up the entire program. We help with some promotional and marketing, and they basically do most of the running the entire program. Now there's other partnerships we want to do where we being library employees are part of the program or part of the outreach, and we want to be there, but a lot of these we actually are not there for the program. As far as active learning, that is the top thing we are focused on in here. We did break things up into 3 different things that we do with the Bubbler program. Probably the one we do the most is what we would describe as make and take projects. So people actually come into the space, they learn a skill, they make something, and then they take it out that same day. So if you're doing printmaking, you actually come in, you run a print, you're able to take that home and display it, share it on social media, stuff like that. So that's kind of the make and take. The second is actually a demonstration. So we may have someone in here who is showing you how to brew beer. Maybe you don't get to actively brew the beer, take it home with you, so that's more of a demonstration. And then the third is more of your kind of classic lecture or discussion or talk. So those we don't do nearly as much related to Bubbler, but if someone had a really specific project where they wanted to talk about, it could be printmaking again. They could talk about the history of printmaking, how you would make a certain kind of print, but they're not actually displaying it. That's what we do the least of. We focus on the actual making the thing or having you make it is our top kind of priority. As far as, gosh, there are so many examples of people making things, learning. Just yesterday we had a class on video game design, and I was able to witness some of that where there were these 2 kids and 1 adult working on the video game design, and it went about an hour over the selected time because they were so engaged in actually making the thing, working with our presenter on video game design, that they just continued to work and learn as part of that.
Good. Immersive learning.
Immersive, yeah. We have people who continue to come back and learn more once they find something they're really interested in, like video game design is a good example.
Are you partnered up with schools at all at this point
with some of the schools?
Classes taking place here?
Yes, we definitely do lots of tours and projects with different school groups, both teens and younger, with the Bubbler program coming in to actually do things here. And we are also looking to work with schools where we actually take some of our programming out into the schools. The best place to look is madisonbubbler.org. So our website, you can find our calendar, you can find all the different projects we're doing. You can see pictures. That has the most information. You can also do the social media thing at Madison Bubbler on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Yeah, right now I'm trying to keep up. I think so. I described it though as the first year of this is like doing a startup business. So you're going to do a lot more front end. I mean, just things that seem in a year should be pretty simple, like how you do a flyer from beginning to end for a program, because we have our own marketing with the Bubbler that's separate from the library system. So just things like that, or how do you do contracts? How do you, that all within a year should be pretty standard. We'll have a system, and right now we're just really putting the system in order. So I'm looking forward to a year from now when the system is pretty much in order. We can plug things in a little easier. I am building a group of volunteers that are helping quite a bit, but we are working on, through some other grants, getting basically a kind of a part-time person who would help me out with the program that we're running. So that would be really helpful to have that person to make this all run beautifully. As far as what we look to, we're hoping to get more of this kind of hands-on active learning into the schools, into the community center, just in the community in general. And so I guess the dream is to have this kind of programming as just a normal thing that goes on at the libraries. So in 5 years, hopefully people aren't like, oh, they're doing what at the library? And hopefully they just say, oh, of course, the libraries, do beer brewing class. That's what they do.